For 20 years, you've trusted us to reinvent the standard in sports nutrition products. We don't plan on stopping, just like you.
I've known Victor Martinez since we worked together on the first generation Iron film. His story has been exciting, dramatic, and always full of surprises. It's always great to catch up with him anytime we see each other. Victor is known to have one of the best physiques of all time, but his career has been going through ups and downs after 2007, when he presented his best physique and nearly won the Mr. Olympia. Victor has been through a lot. Family tragedy, legal issues, and injuries. These were all causes of his setbacks and lower than usual placings in competitions. More recently, Vic decided to change things up in his training and headed to Kuwait. He became one of the first US bodybuilders to train under the guidance of Oxygen Gym. He now continues to train and prep for shows. Being bodybuilding royalty allows him to travel around the world, give seminars, and also expand his business ventures, one of which is bringing a pro show to his home country of Dominican Republic. Are we ready?
I'm good.
We rolling?
Yep.
Vic, it's been some time, man, since we actually had like an official interview.
Yeah,
Like years, right? I mean, we see each other all the time, but like when we actually did like an interview, right?
I know, man.
So how you been, man? I kind of want to talk about the last couple of years, you know. What's interesting this year at Olympia, there's a press conference.
Yes.
And everybody was hinting at you retiring, right? There was like a lot of that kind of talk going on, right? Is that...
Yeah, they go far ahead of themselves, you know. I mean, it's basically the conversation was, are you going to retire eventually? It will.
Eventually, yeah.
So that became, I'm retired.
Right.
You know, and it's taken out of context.
So are you thinking about retirement? I mean, I just want to...
I mean, as you know, I have I'm starting to promote shows.
Right.
I have the one in the Bronx, you know, and focusing on the next one in Dominican Republic, especially with the breakup of IFBB International with, you know, IFBB US. For me, hey, I think it's great, you know, it's giving us opportunities to actually, you know, spread the wealth and bring more bodybuildings, more, you know, to the NPC, and do more for, you know, for my country and any other country internationally. So it's great that that's happening.
Do you still feel like you have the urge to actually compete? Do you still feel like the same fire, you know what I'm saying, to get on the stage, to do the show, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, I love competing. I love dieting. I don't enjoy the off season as much as I thought I would. I'm more of like getting ready for shows, prepping for shows. I love it. It's just on the judging and whatever happens, but that's all in the past. So now I compete just basically for me and my fans, you know, regardless of what happens.
Was that a hint at 2007? You talking about 2007?
Oh man, I mean, 2007 was the beginning. You know, that was the beginning of the end, as they say, and.
That always comes up, huh?
Yeah, 07, and it just happened, you know, it happened, and it's a shame only because I could have built even a bigger career out of winning that Olympia. When a handful of judges take away that opportunity from you, it's always unnerving, and my friends, I guess, bring it up more. Other people that saw it bring it up more. So I think Mr. Olympia should be, you know, like American Idol, man. Let the fans vote. I think they have better eyes.
Wow. So I want to ask you a question that obviously 2007 Olympia always comes up in a conversation, especially you know, when we're talking about you, it always comes up, right? So being a devil's advocate, like people say, well, why didn't you come back the next year and, you know, get back in the finals? But I mean, from what I understand on your career, it's always outside things that played a role, right? There's always been something that...
Yes.
And that's why everybody talks about you. There's always something, external factors that came in.
External, man. It's a drag. But you know, it's life. And And I'm not a person who's, you know, I'm always active. I'm always out trying to do something new. And had I just been a hermit and stayed home and focused on just the show, which maybe I should have done that, and maybe the outcome would have been better. But you know, I'm always, money's never come knocking on my door. You know, always got to go out and chase it. And you know, shit just happened, man. It's out of my reach. Some of it was myself, but most of it was not. It was just either an accident here or issue there, and it's life. Again, life happens.
Do you mentally, like, I mean, after that comeback, when you were trying to make a comeback, basically, and it was setbacks, do you mentally still, at that point, believe that you can still step back and be in the finals and potentially win?
That's all you have is your mental state to tell yourself that, you know, because I should have been done 5 times over. And it's one of the things I would read, you know, back then when it was just magazines, you would read about an athlete and you'll follow him through the whatever 12 issues throughout the year, and at one moment the athlete would disappear. And I always wonder, like, what happened? You couldn't follow up. It's basically one of those things I didn't want to be. Just because of one issue that happened to me, I threw in the towel. So my thing was always, you know what, let me get back on, let me find a solution, let me move forward. So those were one of my, you know, strengths into not becoming that, you know, that type of athlete that was just out because of one issue, one thing.
Now you have a long-time coach and a friend, Victor Munoz, who's been training you, I think, since you were an amateur, right?
Yeah, 98.
98, wow.
Yeah.
So when you went to Kuwait and you got new coaches over there, was he ever upset at you for going there? And
no, I mean, pretty much, we put it in perspective. It's not, you know, he's always my trainer. I mean, I came back, I was training with him, you know, and the training methods, they use a little bit different, again, you know, hard, fast, and heavy, you know. And with my body type, it doesn't quite work, so I still had to implement his methods over there and what I know. You know, it's basically, it was more of that, you know, that camp style training, you know, where you basically didn't have the stresses of getting on the road, being in traffic, you know, half an hour to get to the gym, you know, training, figuring out your food, whether it's one of the meal prep companies or you cooking it yourself or your wife or fiance or girlfriend doing it for you. It's just done, it's delivered, it's brought to you. So a lot of the stress is gone. And
those little things help.
Those little things help, and it's he knew, he understood. So it wasn't anything about stepping on his toes or anything like that. I mean, Victor's, you know, my brother, like my father, he's always gonna be, you know, part of me, you know, to the end. So he didn't feel that way. I'm sure a little bit, probably, because you know, Vic, it's the Cuban in him. I can't help it, you know. But it's still, it was opportunity and experience, and it was great. It was great.
So ultimately in Kuwait, there's no real secret to training. It's just about eliminating, like you said, the small things that would otherwise give you discomfort, right? It's about little things, like about just being more focused, basically.
I remember, you know, Ronnie Coleman, he was a cop, you know. If he did, I doubt he even did overtime, you know. He was probably did his time, went home, made his meal.
Probably less time.
Yeah, or even less time, maybe part-time, but he was home in the gym. Now, you have a person who's a bodybuilder who doesn't have a contract, who's, you know, doesn't have any kids, but then he's training people all day. He's in the gym. You know, not enough sleep, not enough rest. After he trains, whatever, 5 people, now he's training himself. Is it the same level that he would train had he not had those things to do? No. I mean, no, training is totally, it's different. It's different from any other sport, you know, this bodybuilding. I mean, your body needs to rest. It needs to be well fed. And if you're not having those people looking at you from outside the box, you don't really know when to make the changes, and that helps a lot, you know. Yeah, fresh food. That's the best part. Fresh food. I remember having a meal there. You know, I don't like frozen food. I don't like anything frozen. I think only ice cream. You know, so there was a meal there for maybe about 6 hours. I was about to eat it. They're like, "How long was that there?" "Oh, I got it this morning." They're like, "No." Just Abdullah. It's like, throw it out. That's not fresh food. I like that because that's the way I hear. You know.
So, you know, right now, where would you say you are in your career right now, and what is your plan? I know we're going to talk about your contest next, but what is your plan right now? You still planning to compete every year? Are you planning to take a break?
I'm in transition. I'm in transition right now, you know. I mean, in transition because, yes, I still have those injuries as you get older. They don't get better. They just become more of a nuisance. You know, it's just, you know, the bad knee is no longer the bad knee. The good knee becomes the bad knee. You know, the little micro tears are becoming bigger tears, and you don't want it to be a major injury. So you want to leave in a good fashion, you know. And I'm just contributing to the sport right now. And would I bring in a different look? That's, again, what I'm planning. So I'm in transition, you know, as, you know, I'm promoting the shows. Want to do more.
It's funny, 2012 when I met you, you told me that you had a dream of creating a show in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
You told me you were just, that's something you were thinking about back then.
Yes.
And maybe even before that, you're probably thinking about that.
Yeah.
And that was finally coming to reality.
Yeah, I always think about it. Asked a few people, you know, saw, you know, Steve's passion. I mean, I've seen many people run shows. I never see somebody take it so damn crazy to a whole new level of, this is my show, like Steve. Like Steve he puts it together, he gets the shows well run, and people always say, "Oh, that Steve Weinberg is crazy." I'm like, listen, I ran a show, I know all too well why now. I mean, run a show and you know, it's those athletes, they make the show. You don't want to put a bootleg show together, you know, have, you know, production done well, you know, the fans coming in to watch it. It's all about comfort, you know, and putting that great entertainment. And I'm learning. I'm on my 4th year coming up for the one in the Bronx, a year away from the one in the Dominican Republic. And I want nothing but, you know, high-end experience, you know, top-notch. And I'm learning from the best and working with Steve and John De La Rosa in this because best people to work with on the show, and I definitely want to keep working with a lot of the pros, you know. I want to do more. I want to keep contributing back to the pros. This is not just, will I start competing, am I out in the industry? No, this is my industry for life.
Is it easy to become pro now or more harder right now? I know there's obviously more shows happening, but is it back when you became a pro, was it more difficult back then?
I mean, come on, you could get a college degree online now, you know. I mean,
right.
You could be pro by being 5th place now. I mean, probably wrong, but well, maybe 3rd, all right? You could become a pro and
But back then, when you...
No, back then it was straight first. Straight first and...
At a specific competition, obviously.
Yeah, and the Nationals was first and USA was overall, you know, and then possibly a 2nd overall. And that gave it an Ivy League look, you know.
Right.
Now we're looking at online college degrees. Before I used to call it community college, but now this is more online college. You know, again, this is not mocking the industry again. I just want to contribute to it, you know. I don't want to take away from the athletes that get those 2nd or 3rds, you know, because they could be that Ronnie who got 14th on the first Olympia. They could work on that first now as a pro. It is giving more opportunities, but then, you know, you look at any other sport, they don't make it that easy for you to go pro. They make you work.
Right.
You know, I mean, at the same time, I mean, love physique, you know, I love anything that has to do with working out, you know, but My true love is
But not
bodybuilding.
you like CrossFit too?
Oh man, it's a whole other cult, man. You can't do CrossFit forever when you could bodybuild forever, you know. So,
You will break something in CrossFit, right?
oh come on! I'm surprised half of them will have the shoulders after a year or two, you know.
You ever try it?
No, I'm not a swinger, man. You know. I like to control my weight, you know.
Right.
And it is cool. If anything, bodybuilding, powerlifting, that's always been my thing, you know.
Right.
CrossFit, very interesting to watch, good to watch, you know. A lot of times I cringe with some of their, you know, forms and
Right.
lifts, but it's good to watch. In the end of the day, it's still
entertaining.
a sport, it's still entertaining, and can't hate it, man.
How do you feel about, recent, especially with social media? There's been a lot of criticism of men's open bodybuilders, right? The whole criticism of the physiques. People say the stomach's too big, too unproportional. I mean,
Yeah.
But yet, men's open bodybuilding is still the #1 watched attraction, right? So it's like people want to see the size, the mass, just like Ronnie Coleman effect that we talked about, right? They want to see that the huge physique on stage. But yet, there's a lot of criticism because they're saying it's unnatural, it's just over the top, How do you look at this sort of like that, that disbalance?
I mean, big stomachs has never really been a thing for bodybuilding. It just became a thing as unfortunately as Ronnie brought in the big mass monsters, it kind of evolved from the 90s bodybuilders all having those nice round muscle bellies to now people just having bellies. So muscle bellies are good, bellies are not, so.
That's a quote.
Yeah,
Big quote.
yeah. So it's, I agree. You want a nice physique where people say, wow, you know what? I want to look like that. Or, wow, crazy. I'll never look like that, Guys just got to have different ways of training. They think force feeding, eating as much as I can. I want to eat more than Kai Green. I want to eat more than Juan Morel, but they build up to that. You have a guy who starts bodybuilding today, they want to start eating 6 meals a day. Mm-hmm. You build up to that, Eventually, all winds up and your food has to be broken down. And if you're not careful, you're trying to be the best within 1 year of starting, you failed,
But I'm talking about the criticism of the pros that's been doing it for years.
No, with the pros, again, it's just that what got them there, trying to be bigger, trying to do more than what their frame can hold on to.
But does the belly, the stomach comes with a territory, meaning that if you're that size, it's inevitable for you not
It can, but you can't really say that because can you control it? Of course. I mean, it's happened to the best, but, Jay was as big as heck. He never had a belly. It's happened to me a couple of times where you're kind of like thinking, oh, man, the camera, and you let go and they catch that picture and that's it.
They always catch that picture, especially from the side.
They catch that picture, that's it, that's you.
Right.
It's just, we got to be better prepared once we step on that stage. Mm-hmm. Once we step on that stage, somebody is filming, somebody's taking a picture, somebody's always looking. You're on that stage, But now they're blaming it because you're in the gym, you're backstage, they took a picture, and that's just fuel for them to make the bodybuilder feel bad,
So it's always the case, it's just now it's more
always going to
exposed.
be a case, but now again, social media, more bad pictures, more, I mean, let that girl that takes a perfect selfie get caught in a bad picture, forget it. Let a Kim Kardashian take a messed up picture, oh man, all hell break loose, It's just, can you always take a perfect picture at any given time, knowing that this is our world, to be in great shape? I mean, it's next to impossible, I mean, more bodybuilders now. I go to the gym now. I never seen so many people dress up like it's, 10 below in the gym. in the middle of summer, in the spring, it's like I'll never be that person, but you know.
They want to cover up the body.
Always want to cover up now. I mean, always want to, and the sport of bodybuilding, I mean, along, yes, with confidence and great bodies, you know, has always been, you know, insecure people to begin with, you know. And then now you add social media, you know, throwing in the belly effect, you know, belly gate. They blow it out of proportion. And again, what does that tell you? It's just aim towards our sport. That's it. Trying to, you know, downplay it, trying to give it, you know, less prestige. You know, all the golden era, you know, the 70s and everything. Yeah. Ask the guys in the golden era how golden they were, you know, getting $500 a month or whatever, or even that, you know, $100 a month, or no contracts at all. How golden was that?
Not golden enough.
Yeah, they're writing it out now because wherever, or the few of them are doing good, but it wasn't so golden back then. Arnold winning $1,000 for Mr. Olympia, no. I mean, it all has to do with how many guys, you know, but then you go back to the 90s, I think that's the best era, you know. You know, that's when the contracts were rolling all over the place. And again, you know, you only saw the perfect pictures being posted. But those guys in the 90s, I'm sure there are pictures out there floating where they were caught in that bad angle, you know. And you can't have a belly in the 70s either when the biggest guy was probably about 200 pounds, you know. I mean, with the size, goes with the territory, yes, you know. They're gonna get bigger bellies. But again, on that stage, we do control it. We do, you know, make it, you know, an art form. We do make it look good. And don't judge us by a bad picture, man. Come on, guys. You know, we can always go to CrossFit and do those weird pull-ups.
Thanks so much for good interview, man. Appreciate it.
Always.
All right, we're good, guys.